Okay, working on the 70 Challenger again. Just found out that my steering box has some issues, so and granted it's nice and shiny right now because a lot of fluid just puked out when I turned the steering wheel. If you want to get that popped out of here today, I'm going to try and figure out and share with you how to get it. I've already removed the power steering pump off the vehicle. I've got the roll pin out of the shaft right down in there, that little round spot kind of right in the middle of the screen there, where the roll pin is to hold it onto the steering column here. So got the 3 bolts out here, the steering column, so I can pop it forward. I'm just going to take the 2 studs that are holding it in place up underneath the column, the long stud, so deep well socket, and drop it there and then pull it forward and disconnect it. So there we're started. See where I took the bolts off on the inside? Decided to do it that way instead of the 2 smaller ones here. Just pull the whole assembly forward. And then next will be the studs we got right up underneath here, which I think you can see right there. We've got to pop those 2 off, one on each side, and then we'll go ahead and drop it down, and then she should pull forward off the steering box. There she is, she's dropped out. So now again we just need to pull it forward and disengage it from that. And that should be relatively easy. Okay, we're disconnected that quick. Okay, now you can see the shaft down there, the drive shaft, or the steering shaft has been separated from the steering box. So now it's a matter of locating the 3 6-point bolts that essentially hold the steering box in place, and then trying to figure out how we're going to get it out. Obviously I didn't want to pull the engine if possible, so I'm going to try to pull it out through the front side, and hopefully that's going to work for us. And here I go. Okay, here we are underneath now. Got her up on some stands. I think you can probably see the start bolt right there. I think it said it's a 6-point. Well, it's actually a 12-point right there. Okay, and then there's 2 more up on the other side. Don't know if you can see them up in there or not, but back on the other side here we got the other 2, which you can kind of spy in between there. So there's the one, and then there's 2 back up on the other side, just over the top of this here. So there's 1 there, and there's 1 down on this other side here. Now I'm hoping I can get this out through the front, because otherwise I think my only other option, well, I got 2 options. 1, pull the engine, or 2, maybe remove the lower control arm here, get the tire and stuff off, just pop that off, which of course is no easy feat because torsion bars got to come out, struts have got to come out and that sort of thing too, but that may be another possibility. So I'll cross my fingers we can get this out through the front and hopefully save somebody a lot of time by my experimentation. Don't forget the pitman arm. Now it's right here. So right there's the nut. Come back here. You may as well get, when you do this, I mean if you're going to do everything else, and I should have done this when I rebuilt the car, this is the only thing I really didn't replace when I replaced everything else. But of course there's a boot in there. Of course controls all your steering down here. So yeah, I would definitely go ahead and get one with the pitman arm already attached on it. No point in cutting corners like I tried to do, and that's why I'm underneath the car replacing the steering box. So get a pitman arm when you do it. Okay, here's the progress. As you can see, the box is almost out, and there it sits right there. So the header's still kind of in the way, and I think what I'm going to end up inevitably having to do here is get the torsion bar off right there, and then she should come free. Kind of a pain in the neck, but at least I didn't have to pull the engine. It's quite a mess because it pukes fluid every time you turn or grab hold of the pitman arm down below, but looking like we should be able to get it out here and put the new one in from the bottom same way. So kind of a pain in the neck. You kind of got to get the car pretty well elevated up, kind of like everything here. We don't know which way to go, kind of like the Challenger tires are right now. but I had to disconnect the steering arm below from the pitman arm, again, just to give me more room to hopefully get that sucker out of there.